Hi, I'm Tiffany, and most of you probably know me as Tip Stitch, the fashion sewing blogger and sometimes vlogger. But today I am being the skate and sew side of myself for those of my new followers and friends in the skate world. This is my continuation of my series reviewing all my skate gear. In the first video, I talk about the Sugar Fames and the Moonlight Moon Boots. I think that the Fames are a very overlooked boot, and I think that the Moon Boots are boots that a lot of people want to know more about. So I give you all my opinions and thoughts on these in that video. It'll pop up somewhere. I also talk about safety gear in that video, and I talk about skate tools in that video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about wheels. Now, what I want to say is I am a new skater. I've only been skating since June. I've skated off and on my whole life, but then I just bought, I just used whatever the skating rink gave me, whatever stock rollerblades were in, like, Dick's or something, right? This is my first time being like deep into the technical stuff about skating. I am a kind of person who, when I'm into a hobby or I have an interest, I go all the way in, like deep dive down the rabbit hole. I find out like all the information. So I've done a lot of research, and I hope that what I share with you is useful, but I will put out the disclaimer that I'm not a hardcore skater that's been skating for years and has 5 different setups and does skate parks and trails for 10 miles or something like that. Like, I'm just telling you sort of a basic beginner entry level information on wheels, answering some of the common questions that I see on Instagram and Facebook groups, and I get from friends who are interested in skating or my skate mates that I meet out at skating events. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's talk first about hardness. Hardness is measured by the Durometer, which is indicated with the small letter A. So you'll see anything from a 78A to a 103A. And all that means is that, like, this is a 78 gummy type wheel. You'll see it better when I get into the close-up. This is gummier and softer. Like, I can literally squeeze this. You can't really see it even close up, but I can feel I'm actually pushing into it. However, on this harder indoor Fame wheel, it has a little give because it's 95A. It's not like a 97 or 100 or 103A, but it is a lot harder, and I can't get as much give out of it. So basically, the lower the number, the softer the wheel, the higher the number, the harder the wheel, and that makes perfect sense. So there's a chart floating around, and I will try to figure out a way to put it as a pop-up or something in here that shows you the differences in the hardness and what type of surfaces you would use it on. Basically, I would say anywhere from like a 78A to an 82A works perfectly fine on rougher concrete and asphalt and any surface that you can get to outside. A 85A to like maybe a 90, 92, whatever A was more of like a hybrid wheel. So it will do fine outside on smoother surfaces like polished concrete, freshly laid concrete, recently repaved asphalt, something smooth where you can't see like the rocks coming through, would work for those. They would also work probably in skate parks, right, where you're going to have smoother, more polished concrete, and they'll work well on indoor rinks to a certain extent. And then you have harder wheels from like 95 or so up, 90, 95 up, that are more indoor wheels, because if you think about it, having a hard surface go over another hard surface gives you a nice fast glide, sort of like a hockey puck over a hockey floor or something like that. Like two hard surfaces, like think about brand new slippery dress shoes and, like marble floors, you're more likely to slip, versus think of the gummy wheels as like your sneakers with like your gum bottom soles, or your sports sneaker plasticky soles. They grip the basketball court, right, so that the players don't have to worry about slipping and sliding. They're grippy, they hold the ground. That's sort of the difference between a gummy softer wheel and a hard slicker wheel. So hopefully that makes sense. I try to do things with analogies. For me personally, I like anywhere up to 85A for outside. People swear by the 78A. I'm not saying that that's not true. 78 is going to be gummy. It's going to go over everything. It's going to kick out the rocks. It's going to go over cracks. It's going to go over debris. It's going to be very smooth. Because conversely, if you think about skating outdoors on the harder wheel, when you have a hard material going over a bumpy surface, you can imagine it's like having a car with no shocks. it's like feeling every bump and crevice. So like if you have indoor wheels and you're skating outside and you wonder why your legs and your shins and stuff hurt and you feel like you're reverberating after, it's because you literally are, right? Like it shakes you up when you're doing that. The gummy wheels also go over like small pebbles because they're soft and they can sort of conform and go over. Again, think about the difference of like wearing a sneaker and going on a hiking trail. You wouldn't do that in a dress shoe with a thin hard sole because you would feel every crook and rock and stuff. You would have nothing to sort of absorb that shock. So I, though, am okay with my Luminous wheels, which are 85A, and the Moonlight wheels, which are 80A. I feel like they're perfectly fine outside as long as you're not on super, super rough concrete, which I don't typically skate on anyway. So they work fine for me outdoors. And then I haven't had a chance to try my indoor wheels yet, so I don't have a lot of information on like what I would like hardness wise on a skating rink surface. And I do know that all skating rink surfaces are also not the same, so maybe I'll come back and do a video about that after COVID is over and I feel safe going to skating rinks. My preference, so I would say a smaller wheel. I would say a gummy wheel is again from like a 78 to an 85-ish, and I would say like from an 85-ish to like a mid 90-ish is hybrid, and then I would say from a 95 to a 103 is like an indoor hard wheel. So that takes care of one of the numbers that you see on the specs. Let's move on to the next, and that is the size of the wheel, which typically when they give you the millimeters, they mean what I call the height, how tall the wheel is. I've heard someone else refer to it as width, which I guess may be true. The diameter might be a more appropriate term, but we're just gonna call it in this video, if I'm saying height, I mean like the diameter. So larger wheels are better for trails and cruising because they go faster. They go faster because they're larger. So every single revolution of the wheel covers more ground, if that makes sense. If I roll this, if I put a dot here and roll this wheel, the distance that this would be shorter than the distance in the larger wheel because the circumference of the wheel is larger. I'm a math person, so I know some of y'all don't like math, but the circumference of this is smaller than the perimeter, whatever it is, of this is smaller than the circumference of that. So you would go over more ground every one revolution. So larger wheels are faster, but they take longer to accelerate. So they're slower to accelerate. So think of it like, I don't know, like a big old tank or something, right? They have, well, tanks don't really have wheels, but a big old monster truck again. Think of the big wheels. It's going to be slower to start. Like you got to get those things revved up and going and get the momentum behind it. But once they go, they can outpace you because the wheels are so large that they just keep on going. Versus a small itty bitty, again, maybe like a smart car, it's probably going to have smaller wheels. It's going to accelerate quicker, but it's not going to, I mean, it will go as fast as a car, but whatever. Sorry, I might be getting too deep. So they're good for trail skating because they go faster, and that's probably what you want if you're doing long distances. They're also larger, so they go over things better. So again, think about like a monster truck can go over bicycles, and I don't know what they'd be doing at the monster truck conventions, you know, hills and creeks and stuff that they'd be showing you in those, you know, G-Wagon commercials or whatever, Land Rover commercials, right? They can go over the hills and the dips and the valleys and you're not going to get stuck. They can go up the stairs of the Wall of China like that one Land Rover commercial does. So that's what the larger wheels do. They allow you to go over debris and cracks and rougher surfaces easier. That being said, they are taller. So it raises your center of gravity, which makes some people nervous because you're higher off the ground. Again, think of the difference in driving a minivan and driving a sports car, right? You're higher up. That's why SUVs flip, right? The center of gravity is off. Lower cars, like a sports car with shorter wheels, stick to the ground. That's why they're really nimble and you can do the little corners like, you know, the Ferrari don't have commercials, but like, you know, the Mercedes fancy car commercials going up the hills in California and stuff, right? They can hug the road because they're lower to the ground. So larger wheels are faster, but they accelerate slower. They do go over debris better. They can kick the rocks and stuff out better. They can go over larger cracks with no problem. They do raise your center of gravity, so you might feel a little off balance until you get used to it. And they are less agile because they're higher and bigger and chunkier. So, you know, again, you're not going to be out here doing tricks and doing wheelies in a minivan like you would in like a Mustang. So that's what the larger wheels, how the larger wheels perform. And I would say a larger wheel is 65 and up. You can find 70 millimeter wheels, and I would say 65 millimeters, which I actually don't have. Then you have smaller wheels like these two, which I would say are between like 54 and 59 millimeters. So lower wheels are basically just the exact opposite of the larger wheels. They're not as good for the trail skating because they don't go as fast. I mean, they do, but it takes more effort to get them to go as quickly. But they are quicker to accelerate, which might be really good for dance moves or tricks because you might want to change directions really quickly, you know, or something like that. So they are better for agility. You're also lower to the ground, so you might feel a little safer. You can also maneuver a little bit easier because the same car analogy, right? Sports car lower to the ground. So you can maneuver a little bit easier. I don't find them to be as smooth over rough surfaces because you don't have as much surface area coming in contact with the ground that you're on. So I find that cracks I feel them more, rocks I feel them more because, I don't know, it just can't plow over it like that whole monster trunk scenario. They're not terrible if they're outdoor wheels, if they're 78, 80A or whatever, they're still going to be okay. I just don't like them as much. I also don't want to do smaller wheels for longer distances. Like if I'm going to do 5, 6, 7, 10 miles on my skates, I want to go for my Big Daddy wheels. But some people do and they like it just fine. But I definitely find it easier to do transitions. I feel a lot of people get the smaller wheels, like if they say have lollies and they've been using thick, chunky Moxie gummies and they can't figure out how to transition and they haven't been able to, I don't know, do whatever other tricks they've been trying to do, spins or whatever. When they move to a smaller wheel, it's typically much easier because, again, the less contact area you have with the ground, the easier it is to move, right? If like ballerinas go on point, they're on their tippy toes and that allows them to spin quickly and efficiently. When they want to stop, they go back to their flat feet because that grounds them to the ground because it has more surface area. So the more surface area, the more stable you are, but the less agile you're going to be on the larger wheels. The smaller wheels, you're going to have less surface area, so it's going to be easier to move, but you're also probably going to feel a little less stable. So you got to sort of find the right balance. For me personally, that's a 62. Doesn't matter the hardness to me per se. This is an 80, this is an 85, this is a 78. I prefer 62 millimeter wheels. They're big enough to be stable and go fast enough to go over debris and cracks really easily. But they're also not as chunky as the 65s, so I can easily work on doing different tricks, especially right now I'm working on spins. So I find them a lot, I mean, they're easier in the 57s or such, but if I'm lazy and I don't want to keep switching my wheels back and forth, or you only have enough money to buy one set of wheels, I think the 62 millimeter range is a good one to stick with if you want to both learn tricks and do distance. If you just want to do distance, get the big boys. If you just want to do tricks in parking lots and tennis courts, get the small ones. But if you want something that's going to sort of go enough either way, I think 62 millimeters are the right way to go. So now we're going to go into each specific wheel that I have, and I'll give you my thoughts on those. Oops, I forgot to add, not all sizes or height of wheels are exactly the same. Whereas I think all hardness of wheels are close enough. My 78A radars feel a little harder than my 78 Kryptonics, but these are definitely gummies and these probably are a different kind of blend. But again, I think the hardness sort of is fine. I don't have a lot of brand loyalty there necessarily. But I do think that the size can be deceiving because Atom Pulses are 65 millimeters and so are Moxie Gummies and so are Radar Energy 65s and so are Kryptonic Route 65s, but they're not all the same thickness, and thickness is usually sort of overlooked. So the thickness to me is when you look at the wheels this way, the profile, not looking at the round, you're looking at like the profile. Some wheels, I don't have Moxie Gummies, but they're like 43 millimeters wide, which is pretty chunky. And a lot of people have that complaint, but then a lot of people love them because the wider they are, the more surface area touches the ground, the more stable you feel. They're also really great for cruising because nothing's going to trip you up on those. The 65 millimeter atom pulses, I think, are like 38 or 39, so that's like 4 millimeters smaller. That's almost a centimeter, so that's a good amount. I mean, they're small numbers, but it's a good amount of difference. I'm not sure what the radar energies and the root kryptonics are, but I know they're narrower than the gummies, so take that into account too. Typically, the higher the wheel, the thicker it's going to be, and the shorter the wheel, the thinner it's going to be. But even at the same heights, you can have different thicknesses. So if that's a concern of yours, check that out. Also, wheels can have different faces, which I'm not advanced enough to really know how they are very different. But you can have like a radar energy, which does have a roundedness, but is sort of more flat-faced. My Fames are pretty flat too. And then you can have ones like these Lunas, I'll show these closer up later, that are much more bulbous on the edge, which I think is supposed to be better for like carving and stuff. But again, I'm not advanced enough to go into that. Just know that they can have different like side profiles. All right, we're gonna move on to the close-ups. All right, really quickly, these are the wheels that I have, and we'll start with the stock wheels. My Fames did not come with these radars. They came, like I said in the first video, with these Sure Grip Artistic Fame indoor wheels. They are 57 millimeters and they are 95A hardness, which is sort of the lower hardness for indoor wheels. I can actually get a little bit of flex out of these when I squeeze them. I haven't skated indoors, so I don't know how much I'm going to love those, but I think they'll be fine. I mean, for stock wheels. Next up, I have the stock Moonboot wheels, and I really like these. They are 50. Oh, I wanted to say that for a set of 8 of these is 60 bucks, at least on Sure Grip's website. But almost all Sure Grip's indoor skates come with these. And then their outdoor wheels come with either the Boardwalks or the Gravities or the Motions. So these are the Moonboot stock wheels. They are 82A, which I actually really like outdoors. So if you get a Moonboot, don't think that you have to run out and get like a 78A wheel. You're perfectly fine with this 82. They're leaning more to being a hybrid, but 82 to me is really still outdoor. And they are 58 millimeters, so these are a little bit easier to dance and move and try tricks in because they're smaller, closer to the ground, and more agile. I don't know, they don't sell these separately, so I don't have a price for these. I have used these on smooth concrete outside, and I've used them like at a pavilion, which was smooth concrete. I used them at the outdoor hockey rink that we have here. Have I used these on trails? I think I've used these on an outdoor trail, like that was sort of like a worn down asphalt, like not rough, but not like freshly paved, and it was fine. They were fine on all those surfaces. I quite like them. Yeah, I think they're pretty good wheels, especially for stock wheels on a skate. Next up, I have my Kryptonic 62s. These were actually clear. I dyed them red because the clear got sort of yellowy, like, you know, a cell phone case or something would. Anything clear plastic sort of ages that yellowy color, and I didn't like it. So I just used synthetic dye, and I dyed these. That video is both here on YouTube and Instagram, on my Instagram stories, I think. So you can check that out. Basically, I just used synthetic red dye, boiled it, let them sit about an hour. Maybe less than that. Anyway, they were fine. Turned out great. So I love the fact that they're red now. These are really gummy. They are 78A. I don't know if you can see, but I can definitely like flex them. I have used these on a 7-mile trail with no problems. I did trip, but that was me. That wasn't the wheel. But they're really good for distances. They go fast enough for me. I'm sure that the 65s will go faster because my sister has 65 atom pulse wheels, and she's always faster than me, and it seems like she's putting in very little effort. But I really like these. They're great for gummies. I bought these as my first pair of outdoor wheels when I had the Fames to replace the indoor wheels because I needed outdoor wheels, and I found these on I think Amazon, and I think I paid maybe 50 bucks for the 4. But if you go to a link, I'll link below, they have them for, I think, $40 for a set of 8. It's like $19.95 for a set of 4. They come in this red. Well, not this red. They come in a red. I dyed these red. They come in a red, clear, and blue, and maybe a black. These are the Kryptonic Route 62s. They also come in a Route 59, which is 59 millimeters, a Route 65, and a Route 70. So these come in 4 different sizes and 3 or 4 different colors. I think clear, red, blue, and black. If you don't like any of those colors, I would highly suggest just getting the clear ones and dyeing them whatever color you want with Rit synthetic dye. I really enjoy these on trails. I've also used them on the indoor rink and they're fine. I've used them on smooth concrete and they're fine. Like, I've used these everywhere outdoor and I like them. Next up, I have the Radar Energy. We're going to go down to the 57s. So these are more the size of my indoor wheel, you can see here. And I like these. I don't love them. That doesn't have anything to do with radar. I just think I've gotten used to the 62 height and maybe I need to give these more of a try. I do definitely think that they're easy to do tricks in. Like, so I've been trying to learn spins, heel toe spins. They're definitely easier to transition in, like, you know, just regular transitions. I'm working on doing like little 180 hops to transition back from backward to forward, and they work fine for that. I've used these on the indoor hockey, why do I keep saying indoor? The outdoor hockey rink. I like them there too, because that's where I feel more comfortable practicing tricks. So they come in handy there. They are 78A. They do feel somehow a little harder than these 78A. I don't know if there's like a difference in compositeness or the fact that these are like clear gummy and these are colored. I'm not a scientist like that. I don't know, but they're fine. The only surface that I've used these on that I really disliked was some very rough concrete in a parking lot I was trying to skate on one day. Now, admittedly, that was some of the worst looking concrete or asphalt that I've tried to skate on, and so maybe that was the problem and not so much the wheel. But I definitely don't prefer the smaller wheel for like outdoor surfaces. I mean, like for skating outdoors on really rough surfaces or for longer distances, because I do feel like I have to work harder on the smaller wheel. But these are really cute. They come in the yellow. They also come in a purple that looks like pink. They come in a pink that's really like a hot pink. They come in a navy blue, a clear blue, and an orange, which I actually have on the way because I won them in an Instagram contest. So I'm really excited about having another pair. Because again, I really do like them on the outdoor rink for tricks and transitions and stuff. I'm trying to learn how to dance, like do the grapevine in the downtown and all that kind of stuff. So I think it'll be better for that too. I just not that skilled yet. These can be as low as $50. That's what Rydell sells them for. Rydell makes radars. A lot of stores sell them for more than that. I think I've seen them probably as high as like $30, $32 for 4. So you're looking at anywhere between $50 for 8 or $60 something for 8. It just depends on where you get them from. And then we're gonna go ahead and talk about my radar. Here they are, my radar 62s, which are on my skates right now with my whole black and white setup. I like these a lot because again, 62 is just my preferred height, it seems. They work really well. I was a tad disappointed in how quickly, like, you can see on this wheel, how quickly like my energy part started to sort of break down. I've only skated in these like twice. But, you know, it's fine. At a distance, you can't tell. When they're spinning, you just see blackness, so it doesn't really matter. I just was really hot on I don't care as much on the yellow ones because I just wanted yellow. On these, I was really going for the black and white combination, like, look. Anyway, I really like these. Same thing. They're 78A, but they're 62 millimeter. They come in teal, clear green, and clear yellow. I just happen to want the black and white. Again, for some reason, they seem not as gummy as my Kryptonics, but I mean, they're still perfectly fine on all outdoor surfaces. They work great. I do like the larger sizes if I'm really going for like a parking lot skate or a trail skate. I still will use the smaller ones if I'm doing the indoor rink and I'm working on tricks and moves and stuff. These can be as low as $50 as well. That's how much Rydell sells them for, but some skate shops mark them up, which, I mean, they need to make money. So it depends on where you get them from. I think I've seen these as high as like 32 or 35. So these could be anywhere from $50 for a set of 8 to maybe like $70 for a set of 8. Shop around. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that I paid $50 for mine. So there's that. Okay. Then there are the Luminous Black Pearl, which are these. Oh my gosh, I wanted these so bad, and they were so pretty. They're worth every dollar. I know they're expensive. So these are 85A, and they're 62 millimeters again. I've only used these outside on, again, the outdoor hockey rink, trails, smooth concrete, sidewalks, parking lots, and they've been fine. I really like them. They're obviously fun. I put one on this skate just so you could see. You might not can see with the light. I will put a little inbox, if I can remember to do so, to show you what these look like in the dark. I absolutely love these. They're so fun. Now that it's starting to get darker earlier, I am going to be using these more, I'm sure. Hold on, let's see if I can do this. Yeah, that's a little darker. Can you see? Yeah, with my ring light down, you can see it better. So, I really like these. They're fun. They're definitely just like a novelty. I mean, they're practical if you're out skating in the dark, I suppose. They're not going to light up enough to like make you be able to see debris and crack that's coming, but they light up enough to make you noticed by other people, or to be fun if you're doing like a glow night or a night skate with a group. They come in all kinds of colors. I just really wanted the Black Pearl. I got them to go with my holographic boot covers, so I put these on. Wait, which way is up? I put these on, which are holographic and shimmery, and then I have those, and they're super cute. Again, I don't think the 85A is bad at all outside. I use them all the time, and I love it. What else was I going to say about these? Oh, the luminous wheels are pricey. I think I got mine for $70, and I ordered some other stuff, so I got free shipping. Some people sell them individually, so you can mix and match. Like you could get 8 different colors if you wanted. Some people sell them in sets of 4, and then other stores sell them in sets of 8. I think the highest I've seen them retail was $80 for a set of 8. The place where I got them for $70 is because they price each wheel individually, like I said, so you could do a mix-up. I think later I'm going to go back and get another 4-pack. Either a 4-pack or 4 individuals to have in blue or purple, because I think that'll work with the Black Pearl, because I really like these wheels and I want more of them. I almost hate to skate in them because I hate to see them dirty, which they're dirty right now, so excuse them, but they're pretty cool. For people who ask about, like, do they work on a battery or whatever, no, they don't. They, let me put these back. They, there's a little magnetic spacer. I'm too lazy to take my bearings out, but if you took this bearing out, there's like a thing that looks like a bearing, but it's plastic, and it has like little magnetic strips in it, and so the inside of the wheel, like this one doesn't have anything in it, like that inside of the hub, inside here, has like a magnetic part, and then this bearing thing on the inside, the magnetic spacer is what I think they call it, on the inside has, so like the two opposites attract, and when you spin it, it lights up. It's not going to do it if you don't have it on your skate. That's why I had to put one on my other skate. Like it'll barely light up, but not really. The luminous wheels do slow you down a little bit because that magnetic spacer has to come in contact with each other. Like the two forces have to work together to create energy to light up the LED. So you definitely have to like push harder and work a little. There's definitely more tension. It doesn't have anything to do with how tight your wheel nut is, your axle nut is, or whatever. It just takes more effort. You'll even see when I stop spinning it, I should probably do it on the skate. You can see even when I stop spinning it, like it almost wants to turn back half a turn. You see that little wiggle at the end? Wiggle? Like it wants to stop because the magnetic force is stopping it quicker than like just spinning a wheel would. All right, so you have to work a little bit harder than these. It's negligible. You're having fun. They light up. It's worth it. I love these. Like I said, they come in a bazillion colors. They also make some that glow. So not only does the skate light up when you move it, the wheel itself, the outer shell, actually does glow, like sucks in the light and then glows. You know how like any glow stuff works. Expose it to the light, get a lot of light on it. When you turn the light off, it glows. If you're skating outside for a long time, that's going to wear off, but it's just cool for it to glow and light up. And they actually do, there's some confusion about this. So there's several colors available for the outdoor wheel. All the outdoor luminous wheels are 62 millimeters and 85A. Then they make the black glitter in a 58 millimeter 100A hardness for indoor. And then they make the white glitter wheel in a 58 millimeter 97A hardness. So they do make luminous indoor wheels for skating in the rink. The 85s might do okay in a rink. Again, I haven't skated in a rink, so I'm not sure, but they are closer to a hybrid wheel. So they're probably going to be a little stickier and slower, but I'm sure they would work. But if you want a nice slick hard wheel, but you still want the light up, they do make luminous indoor wheels. They're smaller at 58 millimeters, and depending on the color, they're 97A or they're 100A. All right, let's put this guy back in the lineup. The last wheel that I have that I almost shouldn't include because I haven't had a chance to skate on it yet is this luminous glitter wheel. Now, again, I got this because if you saw my first video, I tried on the Luna Shadow skates, which are a German brand company skate, quality skate, good skate. Go back to that video, learn more. They're only sold here in the US by Roll ATL that I'm aware of, and thankfully I'm in Atlanta, so I was able to go and try these skates on. I'm moving it like this because like the luminous wheel, I just feel like it's glittery and purty. So this is a 62 millimeter. It's an 80A. I got these for someone who I think bought the skates and just didn't want these wheels. I wanted the wheels, so I bought them. So these are super cute. They are sold alone, I think, for $50 if you call T-shirt Roll ATL. I like them mostly because they were glittery, and I'm a sucker for stuff like that. Also because, again, 62 is my favorite diameter wheel, size wheel. And it's 80A, which I don't have. The Moonboots are 82. It's not that big of a difference, but the Moonboots are 82. These are 78. These are 85. So it's just one more size. I honestly bought them because they were glittery and black, and I just thought they would look good with my black skates because black skates, glittery sparkle wheels. I'll probably buy some silver derby laces. Why not? I bought these mostly for cuteness, no functional reason. I'm sure that they're going to operate just as well as any of my other 78A 62 millimeter skates. I mean wheels. I'm sure. I'm sure these two are going to work very similar, just like these two already work very similar. So, oops, roll away wheel. I feel like all three of these are going to be a very similar ride, so I don't need all three of them. I want all three of them, so I have them. So those are all the skates that I have. Again, I haven't used these yet, so I can't 100% say. They're supposed to be high rebound polyurethane, so I think they'll be great outside. I also think these will like dirty up better because they're glittery and sparkly anyway, so if they get dulled on the outside, who really cares? Whereas I am a little concerned about my black rubbing off on here. These are fine. And then the luminous, sometimes I just hate to use if it's not like a night skate situation. So these are all the wheels I have in my collection. I don't dislike any of these wheels. I would recommend any of them depending on what you were doing, aside from the indoor wheel because I haven't used it yet. But the rest of them, I think that the Kryptonics are a great deal if you're on a budget or just want different color wheels, since you can buy the clear and you can dye them whatever color you want. They're cheaper than the Radars and the Luminous, so they come in at a great price point. You can get them as low, you can get them as low as like $40 for a set of 8, like I said. Sonar Zens, which I don't have, are another really good wheel that are cheap. I think you can get 4 for $15. So a set of 8 is around $30. Depending on where you get it from, they might be $40. But those are a 82 or 85A hardness, and they're 62 millimeter too. So those are the two budget wheels. If you want, I mean, that's a lot of money, but those are the two budget wheels I would say for outdoor skating. And then I really like the Radars. I do feel like they feel a smidge harder than the gummier wheels, but I mean, it's negligible. It really is. I'm being really picky. I like the 57 size for tricks and dancing and practicing new moves, I like the 62 for that too, but also for longer trail skating, parking lot skating, a little bit rougher, bumpier surfaces where I'm more concerned I'm going to hit like a pebble or a rock. The Kryptonics, again, budget. The Luminous, just fun nighttime skates. And then the Lunas, I haven't had a chance to skate in, but I feel like are going to be very similar to these, just a little prettier. So that is my thoughts on the 7 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of wheels that I own. I have a problem. Yeah, I also recap, I really do like the Moonboot wheels too at 82A hardness, 58A. These I like just as much probably as the Radars. So again, I don't feel like there's that much difference when you start talking about hardness and size. It's a lot of it's personal preference, but I would recommend any of these wheels. I'm very happy with all of them. I plan on switching them out all the time, and I already have like maybe one other set of wheels that I want, plus I do have orange 57s coming on the way, so you may see more wheel videos in the future if I get a chance to test out the Lunas and come into any other ones. I also want Kairo Lightup wheels. I'll leave a link to them down below. Black woman-owned business supports. I think she's taking pre-orders right now, so I'm going to be looking into getting those as well. And that is my video on wheels.